Well, hello, my beautiful Aquarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your singles love reading for mid-October right through to mid-November 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using guide chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. So let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aquarians, this is your singles love reading. I'm going to get your overarching energy first and then follow it with a Celtic cross just to see who's coming in towards you. So let us begin. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to know right now regarding their love life? What are they going through at this moment in time? What lies on the other side? Can you please show the path to love for my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to know right now? So we have the ring there. That is a protagonist energy. You're ready for commitment. You're ready for someone to come on in, but I feel like you've been under a lot of pressure recently. You know, I really feel in your energy that perhaps there's been a bit of a blockage with time so that you can commit to yourself, to your soul path, to the people who are the closest to you, because of course the ring is all about commitments. Now I will, you know, show you the cards in a moment. I'm just going to go and get the rest of your energy before I talk about what's going on with you there. But I feel, you know, the path to love is going to become a little bit easier for you. And I don't know if you noticed with your Gaia chimes, there was a period of stillness. You know, even when I moved the Gaia chimes there was no sound. So, I mean, you do not need me to tell you that it's been a little bit quiet on the dating front. The mountain has shown up there for you. And if you've ever been on top of a snow-capped mountain, many, many eons ago, I was, and the silence is loud. I have to say it like that because I was like, wow, this is like a different type of silence. So you may have felt that, you know, that pause has been loud in your life. You have been focusing on your projects. You've been focusing on the things that you're committed to, but you would like a long-term relationship. You know, the mountain is in the resistance position. It's exactly where you want it to be because that means it's not going to be so hard. And when I heard, you know, the silence with the Gaia chimes for you, as soon as the Gaia chimes started to chime again, there was this magical kind of energy with it. And I heard from my guides, and that's why I'm mentioning it, let the magic begin. Okay, so maybe a very interesting connection is coming on in here for you. I can see with the garden card, because this is a party card basically. It's about being more sociable, it's about activity. So I do see here you mingling a little bit more and you have commitment on your mind. This is the protagonist energy. And when you're vibing at a frequency, because remember, as a human, you are a magnet, okay? You know, you are attracting what you deserve and what you desire into your life. It's hard to remain on that frequency, of course, but your frequency right now is commitment, longevity, a relationship where you settle down, someone who sees your true worth, but you had to learn that about yourself first. You know, When you have the precious gemstones in any card in the Lenormand deck or in the Tarot or in spirituality, it indicates that you are a high vibe person and a high value person. Now, every person on this planet is a high value person. However, you had to find that value within yourself, and you need to align with a person who treats you with the respect and the love that you truly deserve and desire. So you may have been chipping away at life right now, trying to shape your world, and you have a beautiful heart, you are lovable, and you're creating space now for love to come on in. But this tells me that you are now a little bit more focused on love, because this card indicates that you may have peeked out occasionally on the dating scene and thought, there's no one out there, no one's standing out there for you. You naturally stand out because you have the mountain there, which is the equivalent of the tower in, the tarot. So this can indicate you've been revamping your life in some way. There's been restructure, change, but it also indicates that finding love has been hard, okay? And number 21 there is the world energy. So a lot of you have been learning lessons. And also, I feel it's very important to recognize that you're someone, of course, of high value, okay? And, you have a lot of power. You have a lot of, passion, power, and there is an energy within you where you have gravitas, okay? If you think about the mountain does not move. People go to the mountain, okay? So I feel a lot of you may have met people in your past who may have been a little bit intimidated by your power and, this sense of having to step up in order to match your vibration, to walk by your side and be strong enough to love you, but they couldn't find it within themselves due to the place that they are on their path. Because remember, humans, we're all at different levels in life, and we can only meet each other as deeply as we have met ourselves, okay? And if you think about, the true value of precious gemstones, you have to mine pretty deep in order to find these gemstones. So I feel like you've done a lot of personal development work, and you may have met people who were just discovering themselves and hadn't really gone as deep as you have. So they were not as mature spiritually as you on your path. Now, of course, some of you may have been through some very challenging times when it comes to love, but there is an energy here of isolating oneself. So a lot of you may have removed yourself from the dating scene for a while in order to focus on life's challenges and, really like going to the top in your career, for example. I mean, the mountain can indicate that there has been obstacles. And for some of you, I'm given this energy, the obstacle is time. Okay, so that may not resonate with all of you, but this is a card of delay or resistance or struggles or blockages or stalled. So some of you, because it's in the resistance position, it basically means the time or the obstacle or the delay is being dissolved right now. Okay, so there's going to be a quicker pace. You're going to find love in an easier fashion, as it were. But because this card is in the resistance position, a lot of you may have encountered a relationship in the past where you were committed to a person and it stalled. Now, that can mean that some of you were ghosted, or that a relationship let you down, or, something really hurt and you became so strong that you're like, that's never going to happen to me again. So there is this strength about you. And, with the mountain, I kind of like it where it is because, if you think about anyone who climbs a mountain, they set an intention and they put in the effort. And I feel a lot of you are like, you know what, love? It's not that you're not going to make an effort, because of course with the card that you have at the beginning, you are. But I feel like you're going to regulate how you enter a relationship going forward. It feels very much like you're going to make sure that they make the effort to show you with actions that, you should open yourself up and that they are worthy of your love. Not in an egotistical way, but I feel like some of you have met people who coasted or did not put the effort into relationships like you did. Okay, so that's something that's coming through there. Now, your outcome energy is social activity. This is a garden card. It means community. It means networking, even teamwork for some of you. This is about finding yourself in groups of people who share your vision. I mean, this could be a party, it could be an event that you're invited to, a reunion for some of you, but this is like crowds of people. For some of you, not all of you, because we have the mountain there, this can be some sort of quiet retreat, because I am being given this energy of like solitude. Some of you locked yourself off because you have other commitments or priorities at this time. It's not that you don't want love, it's that, it hasn't been a priority. But now I feel there's this dormancy kind of awakening and you're ready to do a little bit more social activity or more mingling. And I mean, for some of you, because there is a ring there, it can be that, you know, you're invited to someone's engagement or someone's wedding. So it could be an event, a literal event, or perhaps an anniversary in some way, and it brings a gathering of people. Whatever it is, it feels like it's an engagement as an appointment or something you put in the diary to attend. That's what I'm seeing right now. And I feel this new person who's coming in, because it's clear there is a commitment coming on in. I'm just going to go and get the details of what that entails for you. So let's get straight to that. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to know right now regarding their love situation? Can you please show them the way, the path to love? So the first card there is the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, Seven of Pentacles can indicate that you have made the effort before in a relationship. And for some of you, you may have tempered your energy and thought, well, is it worth it? Is it worth looking right now? Because there's nobody about. Now, Seven of Pentacles is a fork in the road energy. So a lot of you could be contemplating an alternative way of finding love. So, you know, not your usual typical haunts. If you tend to meet a person in a certain place, a lot of you are like, nope, don't want to do that anymore. Everyone feels a little bit familiar, a little bit like been there, done that, or you're just bored, or you're just like uninspired with the options right now. Yeah, as I said, you're kind of tempering your energy. That's the temperance energy that's just popped out there. And it feels very much like you're thinking about trying something new. So this could be that, like, if you tried online dating apps in the past, you may be like, nope, not doing that again. I'm going to do a hobby, or I'm going to go to that event in the neighborhood. So I just feel there's an alternative energy. It feels like something that you don't do every day, okay? And again, that can be something like spontaneously planned, like a wedding or an engagement. Like when I say spontaneously planned, what I mean is something that is not happening every day or every year, okay? Something that is out of the norm. Of course, a wedding is rarely spontaneous. You know, it takes many, many months of planning. But what I mean is something that is out of the typical kind of rhythm of life, okay? So we have the Two of Pentacles in your past position. A lot of you very busy trying to find the balance in life in general. You've been pushed and pulled in many different directions. We got the King of Cups coming on in here for you. That's actually a person in your potential energy, and the King of Cups offers the highest love that love has to offer. This is someone who's gentle, kind, intuitive. So it just is representative of love in its purest form coming on in, and someone who is a deep thinker, who's emotionally available, someone who is very thoughtful, thinks of the little things in life. We have the Seven of Wands. Now, the Seven of Wands tells me you're a little bit guarded, okay? But also you're not giving up on love. You're going to let the right one in, as it were. You've been building in self-confidence. You know, Seven of Wands also tells me a lot of you have been under pressure. And that came out in your first card there, because if you think about gemstones, they're formed under pressure. So I was given that energy by my guides straight away there. Eight of Pentacles. This is your advice to yourself in this moment. 8 is always the number of the self, and a lot of you have been working on yourself there. We've got the Two of Wands. This feels like it's something planned in your future, something you're planning to attend, or something that you've booked and you're looking forward to. Two of Wands indicates, you know, an alignment with something, that you're being put in a path to find what you're searching for. We've got the King of Swords and we've got the Ten of Swords. Okay, so we've got two king energies here. I'm just going to go one more to see about that, because the potential, of course, is the King of Cups. So that is love. We've got the Six of Wands, being seen, truly seen. A victory, getting what you desire in a relationship. But the King of Swords, of course, it is an air element. So it can be that, you know, you've been planning something. King of Swords is to strategize something before acting upon it. So I would say a lot of you are planning something that you are wanting to attend, and you're patiently waiting for this event. Ace of Swords, you're going to be talking to someone new, that's for sure. This is the earthly plane position. For some of you, if you've already started talking to someone new, okay, and you're wondering how it's going, I mean, looking at the energy, I feel, firstly, if ever you're asking, how's it going to go, and you're feeling a little bit like there's mixed signals there, always take the mixed signals as someone who is not, you know, building something in this moment. Doesn't mean it can't happen in the future, but anyone who is having feelings is actually going to make sure that you're aware that they do not want to lose you. They're going to step up, okay? So I want you to be aware of that straight away. Now, of course, you know, everything's just not black and white in life. There's always a gray area, and people, they do strange things and they act in, you know, wondrous ways where, you know, they overthink, they're shy, they have wounds that they need to heal. So there's a lot of factors there. But if you're questioning because someone is not matching their words with their actions, then see this as a bit of a red flag. And, you know, it's time to step back and allow them to come forward. I see in the future, if you're just talking to someone, because we have a 10 of Swords there, this could be like a sudden breakthrough on the relationship, but also, you know, this could be a conversation that is kind of like ending a certain kind of way of doing the relationship. So for example, you know, the 10 of Swords can be like a really challenging conversation. It's like, what are we doing here? Okay. And of course, you're not going to just say those things to a person you've just met. You're going to let it develop over time. And then when you get to a very involved position, then there's going to be that conversation. And of course, the King of Swords can be, you know, a little bit of a detachment in order to work out the next steps or work out where you feel like you and this person belong in each other's lives. And the Six of Wands is to really see that actually both parties have feelings. Six of Wands is an energy of victory, of breakthrough. Like, you know, when you've got two people who are too cool for school, like they have feelings, but they're very detached because they've been hurt in the past. And they're kind of trying to suss each other out. And they're like, I don't want to be the first person to kind of like, now it's not a game. When people are hurt, because when you have a King of Swords, that can represent someone who's been in a high-level commitment in the past and they've been hurt or divorced or widowed for some of you. It depends on your situation. It's going to be different for everybody. So there can be this like keeping love at arm's length because they're afraid. So I feel there's going to be a critical moment where there is a breakthrough in a conversation because you've got swords, because it feels like there is an epitome moment where, you know, everything changes. There's a point where both parties go, what are we doing here? We just need to say it. We need to like, you know, take action, because Six of Wands is to take action. It is, you know, to illuminate. It is to step into the spotlight and kind of like influence the situation and say, hey, I'm feeling stuff here. You know, do you want to join me or what's happening? And I feel, you know, there is an energy of you and this person celebrating the fact that actually you've got over the eggy point. I mean, relationships that blossom, of course, and are meant to be, it will feel organic. But there's always that hesitancy when you truly like a person, like, you know what, are we doing this or am I just feeling this all by myself? There's going to be that moment, okay, with this particular connection. And actually, both of you feel the same way. So you're going to get over that, but actions always speak louder than words. So just keep your eye on that. And if you haven't met someone just yet, I feel like you're about to, okay? So let's get to your cards. Seven of Pentacles is the crossroads energy. You know, this can be contemplating whether, you know, and again, if you have met someone, this is you contemplating whether you're on the same wavelength here. It's like, are we doing this? We feel a little bit at a crossroads here. It feels like we're either going to go, okay, this isn't working, or, you know, this is working. It feels very much like both of you feel, if you're talking to someone right now, both of you feel it's working. Looking at the cards, it feels like, yeah, there's a lot of potential here. There's feelings starting to develop because you have a King of Cups. But there is this detachment or this hesitancy there, okay? And for some of you, this can represent an obstacle because you do have the mountain there. So this could be shyness. It could be that also one of you or both of you have been hurt in the past and both of you are like, okay, I don't want to be hurt again and I'm feeling real deep here. So don't leave me hanging. And both parties are like, we're going to do it. But yeah, so you are going to do it and it's going to develop into something really wonderful there. But for those of you who have not met anybody and you're searching, and the Seven of Pentacles is basically an energy of, you know, kind of like realizing that in life, you're very self-sufficient. You have enough. You're doing your thing and you are kind of like independent. And a lot of you may be like, okay, I would like to have a person come into my life, but you know what? I don't need a person. I want a person. I want commitment. But some of you are like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. That's what the Seven of Pentacles kind of is. I feel like you've put a lot of hard work into previous relationships. You know, you've been invested, and you may have felt that at times it caused a distraction or drama or chaos. And you're like, you know what? I've got my life to a certain level where there's peace. Doesn't mean you don't want it, but I feel for some of you, not all of you, but because there's a crossroads card here, and then it is crossed by a temperance energy, this can indicate that sometimes your energy blends between wanting a relationship and going, yep, I'm in, I want to find a person. And then other times you're like, you know what, I'm too busy, or I've got my stuff going on, and, you know, I just don't have space for love. So I feel that temperance energy indicates some of you have been fluctuating. Okay, not all of you, of course, but I got to give you what I can feel and what the cards mean and what my guides are giving me right now. But I feel a lot of you have been trying to get your life into a rhythm or a balance that you felt out of for some time. It may have felt over the last couple of years your life has been out of sync in some way, and you've just been trying to recalibrate or restructure your world in some way in order to get to some sort of place where you felt secure, or you felt you could, you know, embrace love to come on into your life. The Temperance card, a lot of you are focused on your sense of purpose. You know, this is an energy of harmony and patience and self-discipline. I just feel a lot of you with this Temperance energy, because it is a crossing card, I got to read the reverse, and it can indicate that some of you feel that you've met people when it comes to love who've been disruptive of your energy, or, you know, perhaps you felt a little bit out of control with feelings and you're just trying to recalibrate in some way. But the right person is not going to cause that disruption in your life. The right person is going to be strong enough to walk by your side and complement the life that you've built already. You'll both compromise and factor each other in, but it'll just feel right, okay? So that Temperance energy, it tells me you've been waiting a long time, okay? And I just heard, I've been waiting as long as the mountains have been existing. So for some of you, like, you've been waiting your whole life for love to come on in. And, you know, there was purpose in that, my guides are giving me, so that you could know yourself deeply. You have a mission, a calling in this lifetime that you have been called to follow. And often, because the mountain equivalent card with that tower energy, basically, this can indicate that some of you, you know, have walked a lonely path. You felt isolated at times, but I feel there is this energy that you had a commitment in this lifetime to adhere to, and that purpose was important. And now it feels very much like you have completed or passed a test in some way, because the Temperance card can be like a test of some sorts, especially with that Six of Wands there. It tells me that you complete something, and now, you know, it's wide open for you to meet the one. That's something that's coming on in. And on the earthly plane position, we have the Ace of Swords. Things are going to change pretty quick for you. This is destiny. This is fate intervening when you have an Ace of Swords. This means, you know, the divine law of destiny steps in to offer you an opportunity to talk to someone new. But I also feel this is about you taking responsibility for your actions and putting yourself in a position to meet new people, okay? When you have the mountain there, and its equivalent is a tower, it can be that there's a certain structure that has occurred in your life where you felt comfortable with it. We all do it. We build a structure, you know, get up in the morning, do your routine, go to work if you're in work, look for work if you're, you know, looking for work, or if you're retired, you're doing your projects, or if you're a home help or a carer, you're doing your thing, right? There's a structure, there is some sort of schedule, and we sort of lean into the familiar there. But with this Ace of Swords, I feel like you're breaking structure, or you're starting a new structure that kind of puts you in a position to meet someone where there is a meaningful connection. That's what I'm feeling from this card. Ace of Swords, for some of you, you have contemplated online dating, but it could also be chat forums. It doesn't have to be connected to dating. It could be like a hobby or something that you're interested in, that you kind of connect to people. There's definitely some sort of social activity here, but the Ace of Swords can also indicate like some sort of communication coming out of the blue, and this could be an invitation, okay? So they're the energies that I'm working with right now, and because there's so many of you, that's the pockets of energy I'm being given. So invitation, or some sort of communal gathering there. Could be like an event, like a concert, gig, you know, something artistic, maybe something creative that you're doing, maybe something in your community. you know, there's a gathering and you are getting some sort of notification or some sort of indication, because this is a card of knowledge, of knowingness, that this is going to occur and you're going to attend. So whatever it is, you are fated to be at this event, okay? And we have the Two of Pentacles in the past position. A lot of you very busy. Two of Pentacles indicates multitasking, lots of projects on the go. But also it is a card that indicates the rhythm of your life and feeling like you needed to create some sort of balance, or you have felt that, you know, you've been out of sync in some way with your life. And with that Temperance energy, it's like recalibrating. And I feel like you've done that, you know, but these are indications of what you've been going through. Also, Two of Pentacles, you may have met very inconsistent people in your past. You're leaving those people in the past, okay? You're meeting someone who's really awesome, who's very truthful. So if you have had any kind of betrayal in the past, firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. That's a very challenging emotion to deal with, because of course, it's not something that just happens in the moment that you have to deal with, heal. It actually has a knock-on effect for you opening yourself up, your beautiful self, remember that, for the future, to a new person. Now, a new person is not going to repeat a cycle with you. I want you to be aware of that. But sometimes people are hesitant when they've had really challenging experiences, traumatic experiences in love. But I want you to be aware that love this time around for you is going to be pure. It's going to be honest. It's going to be, I don't want to say measured, because it's not the energy I'm being given, but I'm trying to find the word that my guides are giving me for the energy. It's almost like, it's not going to be chaotic, but it will be passionate. It will be intense. It's not going to be destructive, if that makes sense. So it just feels like someone who's exciting to be with, someone who will match your rhythm, okay, in your life, but also someone who, you know, raises you up, someone who shares your vision of the future, someone who celebrates you, someone who's there. So that's something that's coming through. Now, King of Cups energy, this is the potential, which is love, of course. This is King energy, so this could indicate that you're meeting someone of a certain stature in life, someone who either ran their own business or still does, someone who, you know, is mature enough to know what they want. King of Cups energy indicates someone who's very intuitive, someone who's very supportive, someone who, you know, is generous, someone who respects all things, the world, people, you know, someone who is loving, caring, kind. So I'm just going to pull a card, because we do have two kings here, and we also have Two of Pentacles, but it is in the past, and we've got a Two of Wands. So I want to know, are you meeting two people here and you get to choose, or whether these are aspects of self and the connections that you are going to match in the coming weeks and months there. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? These two kings, are they two people? Is it one person? King of Pentacles. So it's one person, okay? It's highlighting the king status for me with my guides. So it basically means someone who's all in, okay? Someone who is invested. King of Pentacles is someone who pays you a lot of attention, someone who does not ever give you any indication that they are looking elsewhere or there's mixed signals or anything like that. This person is like honest, and they're highly intelligent, they are successful, they're ambitious in life. I feel like they dedicated themselves to work, and time was the blockage with this person also. It's like now they feel they're ready to fall in love, or it feels like when they were ready, it was misguided, and now it feels like they're ready to open their world and settle down. Because King of Pentacles is someone who's serious about building a home life, someone who is serious about settling down, someone who's really responsible. This person is self-made, is what I'm being given as well. And loyalty. I just heard the word loyalty, okay? So very important there. So I feel this is kind of like when you meet this person, if you haven't already, there just feels like with that King of Swords there, feels like there's just a bit of a like at arm's length energy, And I actually feel it's you, my beautiful Aquarians, because you have the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands, if this card was not in your frequency for the next 6 weeks, this would tell me that it was the other person who was a little bit guarded. But I feel this new person wants to get to know you, but I feel due to your experiences, Seven of Wands is this hesitancy, like, okay, I'm under a lot of pressure, or I've got stuff going on. How does this person factor into my life? But also, because I feel like you're ready. You know, you've got the commitment card as your starting position card. So, you know, the Seven of Wands indicates that you're not giving up on love. You will fight for what you believe in when it comes to love, and that you're at your peak right now, okay? You are at your personal best. And I feel there could be this, because the Ten of Swords is there, it feels very much like when you organize a first date with this person, something happens where it has to be canceled and rescheduled. And this is not the person, I feel it's not the person letting you down or you letting them down. I feel it's something that naturally occurs that makes both people think, oh, they're not going to think I'm serious now. But actually, they are. There's an energy here of this person kind of proving to you, because if it's this person canceling, I feel like they prove to you, look, I was in a bind. I had to cancel. So it's not that you're thinking, oh, another one who's flaky. It's this person going, okay, this came up. It was important. And it just, they reschedule. This person reschedules. So they're not like palming you off for someone else or something else that's like, I feel this is critical, whatever this is, that they have to cancel or reschedule. And it could also be you, but I feel there's this kind of like, oh, so there may be a little bit of a detachment at first because of a cancellation or reschedule with a date, but I feel this is something that was unavoidable for this person, and they are really, truly interested. But again, always actions speak louder than words, okay? So that's coming through. But the Seven of Wands, it tells me that you're pushing on through. So, you know, when this kind of cancellation occurs, whether it's you canceling or them, I cannot tell, okay? Normally I can tell, but I can't on this occasion. So I'll always be honest. I'm not just going to tell you something that isn't there or that I can't see. I'm not going to make it up for you. I can't tell at this stage, okay? But looking at that Seven of Wands, I feel like you don't give up. I feel like you push on through, go, okay, let's give it another chance. But now they have to kind of prove, or now I'm just a little bit distant. Okay, I'm a bit hesitant to see where this goes. But your advice to yourself in this moment is the Eight of Pentacles. And the Eight of Pentacles is routine. It is habit. It is repetitive cycles. It is commitments. A lot of you have commitments right now that you're dedicated to, which is honorable, but it's about creating that space for new love to come on in. And of course, 8 is the number of the self. So I feel a lot of you are focused on your finances, on the structure of your life, building a home life. I mean, this card can also indicate, you know, there is a need to get yourself out, be a little bit more sociable. And of course, being sociable doesn't always have to cost money. If money is a factor for you right now, I feel there could be some free events going on in the neighborhood as well that you could attend. But I feel a lot of you are actually booking something that requires you to pay in some way. So even if like your friends are getting married, it can be that you have to pay for the ticket to get there, or you're purchasing a gift or something. I just feel there is some sort of event, even if it's a reunion. I mean, if it's a reunion, it could be that you're like purchasing, I don't know, drinks, you know, something. I feel you do pay for something at an event that you meet this person at. That's the energy I've been given there. Now, the Two of Wands, which of course is perhaps something you will not want to hear right now, but Two of Wands indicates, yes, there is still a little bit of a wait. I hate to give you that message. Seven of Wands indicates, you know, something you got to do. You're not giving up on something, but Two of Wands is like waiting. So it can be that, you know, you meet this person next 6 weeks, you kind of like arrange to go on a date with this person, but it gets canceled and you have to wait. So it's outside the 6 weeks energy that I'm reading for right now. Two of Wands is an energy though of planning for the future. So whatever this is, wherever you meet this person, you've planned to be there. Okay. And you know, this is also, my guys gave me, Two of Wands can be frustrating at having to wait. So maybe this is an indication that this person actually has to cancel or reschedule for some reason. So I'm just giving you a heads up on that, okay? And also, my guys are giving me the Two of Wands is basically like feeling restless, feeling a bit like frustrated that you have to wait, but the rewards are coming. And you've got the Six of Wands there, which tells me, yes, the rewards are coming, which is a relationship that is passionate. You know, you're meeting a person who influences a situation. They take action. They are someone who's very unique. This person, they're a very private person, this person, but you really bring them out of their shell, and vice versa is what I'm seeing there. Both of you together, you light up a room, I just heard, okay? Now, oh yes, I've just seen that you've got a Seven of Swords there, okay? So this is the hope and a fear position. So some of you have been betrayed in the past. So firstly, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. The new person is not going to repeat a cycle with you. It is safe to love. I want you to be aware of that. But always, you know, use your intuition. And you don't have to be in survival mode or fight or flight mode with this person. But at the same time, of course, your intuition is so strong. It knows the way. And if there's any red flags, you will spot them immediately. So give yourself credit and trust a process. Okay. We have that Seven of Swords, which of course it does connect sometimes to betrayal, but actually the history of this card has been lost over the eons. So this card can actually mean independence. It means, you know, don't go too quickly because you may miss something. Don't rush into anything. There is a connection coming in. It's actually going to come in quite fast is what I'm seeing there. Ace of Swords is velocity and speed. So it's like suddenly, out of the blue, you're meeting this person and there's a potential for it to go quite quickly. But there is like this putting the brakes on. And I feel like you put the brakes on for some reason. Okay. And the Seven of Swords is an indication there where, again, you know, it comes back to this energy at the beginning. It's like, okay, you know, I'm all good all by myself. I'm independent, self-assured, got my life going on. I like routine to a certain degree. Of course, you like new things, new places, new faces, all of those things, my beautiful Aquarians, because variety is a spice of your life for sure. But I feel there is this energy of like, you like to live life on your own terms and you are so independent that you wonder if someone can like fit into your life or whether you can open up your life to another person. So some of you may be wondering those things at this time. I definitely see that you need someone who's equally independent, that you share your lives with each other, and that codependency is not a factor. Okay, you need someone who wants to be with you, doesn't need to be with you. You don't like people or energy to crush your flow. You're an air element. You need to be free because, you know, you don't fall in love easily, but when you do, you are ride or die. It is for life. You're all in, but you need to make sure that you can retain your sense of independence and freedom because you're always going to return home to the person your heart resides with. So if you've been in relationships in the past where, you know, someone tried to control you or crush your energy, you felt stifled or smothered in that energy, and it was not love, it was possession. So I feel a lot of you are making sure that you don't fall into that sort of cycle ever again. So that's coming through very strongly. Now, you know, my beautiful Aquarians, I'm just getting this energy where in love, you just want to be seen. You know, it's just that simple. You often get misunderstood. People don't get you, or they have a version of you that they kind of want to fit you into a little box of expectation. And you're like encompassing so many different aspects of you. So I feel there is this energy of like, you want to meet a person who truly sees you, who wants to get to know the real you. Now, you're always authentic. You always give the real you, but you may feel that people have put their idea of love onto you, or you know, they've been very attracted to the physical aspects of you, but you want to go deeper. You want someone who wants to know how you feel. You want someone who is interested in your day, you know, not just the sort of surface. With the King of Cups, you want a deep relationship, someone who you can communicate to on all levels. And I feel like you're going to meet that person. You are going to get that wish there. What else am I getting from this? I mean, the hope energy is, of course, someone who sees you because, of course, Seven of Swords in the resistance position is like clarity. It's like, you know, you don't want someone who falls in love with the idea of love. You want someone who falls in love with spending their life with you and how as a team you can work together and build a life of love and stability. And, you know, it's you and them against the world, as it were. So I feel you're hoping for that, but you're a realist. So a lot of you are like, yeah, I'd like that, but does it exist? Well, yeah, the answer is yes. And I feel it is about to occur for you. Now, Ten of Swords can indicate that a lot of you have been going through some major endings in your life. Ten of Swords, yes, this can indicate betrayal. So you're in a period of healing if you've been going through a betrayal. A lot of you may have removed yourself from a situation in order to take stock of life and love. And some of you may have felt that love equated pain for you in the past. And again, I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love. And whilst your experience is different from my experience, we cannot measure our pains against each other. But in terms of empathy, I can empathize that, if you've been betrayed in the past, your life and heart would have been shattered into tiny little pieces, and you're picking those pieces up and you're putting yourself back together. Know that you are strong, and know that, love does come on in, and it is gentle and it is kind. And unfortunately, we get taught lessons in life, and I don't make the rules, but unfortunately we all go through that, and it is a process, and it is a period in your life that I feel is ending. It is birthing this new beginning. And that's why I'm so excited, because the Ten of Swords is there, and you have the Ace of Swords, which means on the earthly plane position, there is a new beginning. So some of you, because you have that King of Swords, that's why it is in this position. Some of you, not all of you, but some of you may have been going through a divorce, or some of you may have been going through a very challenging separation, and you had to just get everything finalized before you felt ready to move on. And that's okay. Love will wait. The right person is laid out for you. There is going to be no missed opportunities. Life is not about missed opportunities. If anything is not for you, it will be taken away. So anything that is meant for you will never pass you by. So acknowledge that in your truth. But also, and I have to address this because, of course, the King of Swords and the Ten of Swords can indicate that some of you have been in a commitment in the past. And for some of you, you may have been widowed. So I'm sending you a huge hug out there and so much love, because that's really hard. That indicates, a person who was on a pedestal. They were your shining light, the person that you fell in love with, and they walk with you. They have not left your side. I want you to be aware of that. There's still a connection, a bond, a commitment there. But in time, if you feel ready to, because, it's a process, do not rush into anything. That's what your Seven of Swords is there for. Do not rush. But when you feel the moment is right, you will be given signs from the person in spirit to let you know they want you to live, okay? They want you to be loved. The love will not replace what you had with the person in spirit, of course, but when you feel it is time, an opportunity will be sent. It will be organic. It will be natural, okay? So I want you to be aware of that, because the Ten of Swords can indicate someone's passing or a death there. So I do feel some of you, not all of you, could have been healing or dealing, managing, like pain, suffering, wounds, they say time heals, but actually, I would say personally that time doesn't heal. Time gives you space to manage. King of Swords is a managing energy. It means structure in order to deal with something that has been truly challenging. Okay, so, it is a process to manage. Some of you are grieving, and it doesn't have to be a widow. Some of you may be grieving someone very close to you right now. And again, I feel like they are protecting you and they're guiding you towards love, because the King of Cups is the potential, which means, whoever you're going to be talking to here as an opposing card, King of Cups, it is someone sent to love you because you are lovable. Okay, so no matter your circumstances, because of course everybody's going to be different and everyone's got different circumstances there. So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from that energy. I'm actually seeing, I'm seeing like all these wonderful things right now. First off, I'm going to tell you what I saw was like all these butterflies just flying up into the air, just so beautiful. And then I'm seeing all these colored umbrellas with like Technicolor. They're all different colors on each triangle of the umbrella, and they're spinning. Now, I actually saw that image before I started your reading, but it's starting again right now in the water. I'm scrying at the same time as doing your reading. Umbrellas mean protection, okay? And there's just like all these beautiful colors just spinning, okay, on these umbrellas. So maybe this is something you're going to witness. Maybe this is something that's personal to you as a memory. So please take it as it resonates. keep your eyes peeled for those signs. I mean, it doesn't have to be just a sign for those of you who have lost someone and they have passed away. It can be a sign as well, specifically to help you recognize that a very protective, loving, passionate, exciting relationship is going to come on in, okay? So with a lot of love and respect, I'm going to disconnect from this energy and move forward. I'm going to pull a card on this Ten of Swords for you all, just to see a little bit more, because the Ten of Swords can be a different way of thinking, like challenging yourself to do something different. Like, okay, we've got structure here, but what else could I do? We have the Fool card, yes, new start. So it's definitely connected. I wanted to see if it was connected to this Ace of Swords. I felt it was. I mentioned it already as well. Fool card, take a risk, take a leap of faith, you know, lean into your playful side. There's so much potential here. You are attractive, you're young at heart, you do not look your age. You're someone who is so fun to be with. You know, someone out there right now is missing out on the opportunity to have fun with you and to love you. So allow yourself to be seen. That's something my guides are giving me right now. What a wonderful thing to say. I've never even thought of love being like that. Someone out there right now is missing the opportunity to spend time with you. So that's actually a change of thought process. And that's what that Ten of Swords is representing there as well. You know, end of limiting thoughts. Now, King of Swords, of course, is an air element, so I do feel this is about you having something planned that you're going to take action on or go to that puts you in a position to communicate with a new person, okay? So whether that's online, because swords can connect to the air, the ether, online communications, or whether that's physically in, you know, a shared space, as it were. I mean, your Garden card tells me there's some sort of like group activity. So I feel a lot of you are spending shared space with people. And then there's going to be this one person. That Six of Wands is like out of a sea of people. They see you. They really see you. Six of Wands is victory. It's a breakthrough. It's you reaching a goal, or, you know, your mission is like, I want to find love. I want to be in a commitment. Six of Wands is like, got it. Celebrate the moment. Finally, I found the one I've been looking for, because this is a card of achieving your goals. Okay, so you're going to see the results of you taking action or going to an event. So I'm very excited there. Now, for some of you, this person you meet, they're very influential. Now, we don't have the star energy, so I'm not saying they're not famous, but I feel like they're very influential. So either they have status, or, you know, they're well known within their industry or well known within the community. I'm not sure. I mean, they could be an influencer online, but I'm just being given by my guides. They're very influential. Okay, so that's something that's coming through there as well. Now, we have all these butterflies. So this is great that one of the signs has come out there, but it says, I am passionate. The butterfly is actually on the spine there as well. You know, the spine is where, this is scientific, I think it's called the metatubules, go up and down the spine as electric current, which is all about your passion. It's about, you know, your life force. So what is it that makes you excited? I feel a lot of you are being asked right now to think about something that you're passionate about attending or going to, or something that excites you at this time that you're passionate about. You're going to go to it, okay? And it will literally transform your life, because butterflies are all about change, an ending, bringing a new beginning. And a lot of you, if you've been feeling a little bit lost when it comes to love, you had to dissolve a sense of structure in your life, just like the butterfly. In the chrysalis, it dissolves its sense of structure, its form, in order to emerge into the butterfly. So I feel something in your life has been changing, and you've been dealing with that, and now it's time. So I'm quite excited there for you. Let me just get a trinket or a rune before we close. Ooh, oh, we've got a fair few things here. So we've got the lightning bolt. This is the equivalent of the tower. You know, tower is basically just surprise. Lightning bolt is like suddenly it's happening, and with great speed. So it could be love at first sight when you meet this person, okay? Also, there could be maybe the reason why you cancel the date is due to a storm. I'm not sure. I'm just going to put it out there. The weather is doing some weird things over the last year. I did say it in my predictions, and unfortunately it is going to get a little bit wilder there, but yeah, is what it is. Now, we just have these little buds. There's two little buds there. Now, really unusual. One is blue, one is pink, okay? I'm not even sure how they got in there. One of them I feel is definitely connected to this. Okay, so I feel what I'm being given with this is potpourri. That's just random, I know, potpourri, but that's what I'm being given. And the blue is, I'm not even sure what it is. It's like a little stone, but I can't tell you what it is because I don't know how it got there. So it's really unusual. So maybe this person who attends an event is like, okay, it was random. It was spontaneous. I just thought I would attend. I don't know why I'm here because I don't know anybody or anything like that. And suddenly they know you. Okay, thanks so much. I'm so grateful. My guide said, no, they do know someone at the event. Okay, so they do know someone. So there you go. Okay, so we also have the doll. Okay, now the doll represents the child in the Lenormand deck, which basically means new beginnings. Okay, but also this can be to lean into your playful side, and that there is a relationship where, you know, you will feel comfortable in the relationship with that person. And I feel it's really fun, really playful. That's what I'm being given there as well. So I will leave that there. Thanks so much. I'm so grateful. For some of you, if you have a child already, you could actually meet a parent, you know, connected to your child's friend or something. So it could be some sort of group activity or a gathering where parents hang out whilst they're waiting for their child, for example, to come out of school or college. And it can be that you strike up a conversation there. So that just came through as well. Of course, not everybody has children, but it had to come through and my guys gave it. So I'll leave that there, my beautiful Aquarians. I hope something resonates in some shape or form there for you. So thank you so much and love and light.